students, your next class, class 9, that is individual society. I'm just giving you, we are going to learn about, we have learned individuals and society, etc. Socialization, individualization. Now we will learn about the definition for society. Everybody knows what a society is. Now, according to Mackler, a sociologist, he gave a definition. Society is a system of usages and procedures of authority and mutual aid. So it is a system where you have some procedures and rules, authority and mutual aid of many groupings and divisions, of controls of human behavior, liberties, everything. All so many factors are there in the society: authority, mutual aid, groupings, divisions, many groups, many divisions, and then control over the human behavior and the liberty. This ever-changing complex system, which we will call society, is a web of social relationship. Even in the first class also, I have told you about that. Simple definition for society is it is a web for social relationship. So according to Mackler, so society is a system of usages. You have so many rules and regulations, procedures, authority, mutual aid, groupings, divisions, then the control over human behavior, liberties, all of them put together, you will have the system called society. This ever-changing complex system, which we call is called society, is a web of social relationship. Now, according to C.H. Cooley, what definition has he given? Let's see. Society is a complex of forms or processes. So, society is a complex. It has got so many things together. That is why it is called a complex of forms or processes, each of which is living and growing by interaction with others. Each of which is living and growing by interaction with others. The whole being so unified, of which living and growing by interaction with others, the whole being is so unified that which takes place in one part affects the rest. So according to him, he says that it is a complex unit where it has so many forms, so many processes, of which is living and growing. You are living and growing by interaction with others, the whole being so unified that what takes place in one part affects the rest. So whatever you do in one part will be affected on the other rest of the part. Now the elements of the society. First one, likeness. There should be likeness among the individuals. There are differences. When there is difference, there is competition. So if it is all likeness, so people will not have the not people will not want to have any competition. Only when there is competition, there is progress. System of stratification. There are different division in the society, like different division in the society. That is caste system, class system, etc. Then social relationship. There are so many social relationship. Then interdependence. You are dependent on each other. Then you have to have cooperation. You need to conflict. There are competition, accommodation. Accommodation is after a fight you are coming to a compromise. That is called accommodation. And then another element of society is assimilation. It's a new term for you. It is a sociological term. That is when people from other places come and take the culture of that particular society. Say for people from other states, they have come to Sikkim and they have started following the culture of Sikkim, learning the language, behavior, etc. That type of process is called assimilation. Now, next one, what are the different types of society? First one, hunting and gathering. Right from the beginning of humanhood, there were different types of society. The first one was hunting and gathering of society. The main form of food production in such society is the daily collection of wild plants and hunting of wild animals. So the food production in such society was by the collecting of plants and hunting of wild animals. Next one, hunter-gatherers move around constantly in search of food. So these society, they are always are always in movement constantly. They are in search of food. As a result, they do not build permanent villages because they keep moving from one place to another in search of food. So once when the grass, the greenery or the food gets over at one place, they have to move to another place, create a wide variety of artifacts, that is cultural or historical. They move from one place to another and usually form small groups such as bands and tribes. So they are a small group of people. Some they are known as bands and another group called tribes. There are no political offices containing real power. Offices containing real power, no political authority, but there is a chief, is a person of influence. Tribal consolidation for collecting action are not governmental. So the chief is a person of influence, he can influence. And tribal consolidation, they consolidate for collective action and not governmental. It's not like in we have here government, because they are moving from one place to another. There is no real power. There is one person who will be the chief of that group, a person of who can influence. Then the tribal consolidation of collective action are not governmental. So these are not governmental. These are all done on private level. The family forms the main social unit. The main important social unit here is the family, with most members being related by birth or marriage. So it's just one group. They are related either by birth or by marriage. This type of organization requires the family. This type of organization requires the family to carry out some social functions, including production and education. This type of social organization requires the family to carry out more social. So these organizations, they will require a family to carry out the social functions including production and education. So next society is pastoral society. Pastoral society began around 12,000 years ago, and they rely on products obtained through domestication and breeding of animals for transportation and food. So the pastoral society, it started 12,000 years ago, and they depend on the products obtained from the domestication, their own cows or goats or hen, like that, pigs, etc., and breeding of animals for transportation and food, and also for transportation like donkeys and horses, which are being used for transportation. So they are basically on agriculture and domestication. The pastoral society only have to move from when the land in which the animals graze is no longer usable. So these people, they move when they find that their animals do not have any more grass to graze. Then they will have to move from one place to another, not like the hunter and gatherers society. Pastoral society also allow job specialization, since not everyone is needed to gather or hunt for food. Pastoral society also allow for job specialization, since not everyone is needed for. There is they allows job specialization. Maybe the husband will do this job, wife will do this job, and there are some specialization, and the children will do this job, grandfather will do this job. So they have got specific specialization, since not everyone is needed to gather or hunt for food, because all are not going to gather or hunt the food. Mother will be looking after the family, the children will be doing something else. So each of them have their own duties and regularization. That is, they have job specialization. For example, while some people breed animals, others are able to produce tools or clothing, which allows for specialization in their area. So different types of people are different types of job specification, which include some going out for hunting to gather food, some people breed animals, they look after their domestic animals, some will produce tools or clothing. So there are specialization in this society, pastoral society. Next one, horticultural society. Horticultural society emerged from between 10,000 to 12,000 years ago in Latin America, Asia, and parts of Middle East. So horticultural society emerged 10,000 years and 12,000 years ago in Latin America, Asia and parts of the Middle East. These societies rely on the cultivation of fruits, vegetables and plants in order to survive. So here each society has its own specialization, job specialization, their way of living, all are different. These societies rely on the cultivation of fruits, vegetables and plants in order to survive. Horticultural societies are often forced to relocate when the sources of the land are depleted or when water supplies decrease. Then these society, they are forced to move from one place to another when the resources of the land gets over depleted, means over, or when the water supply decreases. Then they will move from one place to another because they are basically doing cultivation of fruits, vegetables and plants. Next one is agricultural society. It is referred to as agrarian society. Agricultural societies rely on the use of technology in order to cultivate crops in large areas including wheat, rice and corn. So this is agrarian society or agricultural society. They rely on the use of technology, whatever technology, in order to, why they use technology to cultivate crops in large areas including wheat, rice and corn. Greater degrees of social stratification appeared in agricultural societies. So there is a great degree of social stratification which appeared in agricultural society. For example, women previously had higher social status because they shared labor more equally with men. So greater degree of social stratification appeared in agricultural societies. For example, women previously had higher social status because they shared labor more equally with men. So this is these are the features of agricultural societies. Next one is the industrial society. Industrial societies are based on using machines, particularly full-driven ones to produce goods. So these industries are basically based on machines. So everything is being worked on machines, particularly fuel-driven ones. Sociologists refer to the period during the 18th century when the production of goods in the mechanized factories began as industrial revolution. Sociologists refer to the period during 18th century when the production of goods in the mechanized factories began as industrial revolution. So this industrial society started during the 18th century and it has started as the name was mechanized factories began as industrial revolution. The industrial revolution appeared first in Britain and then quickly spread to the rest of the world. So this was first started in Britain and then quickly it spread to the rest of the world. As productivity increased, means of transportation improved to better facilitate the transfer of products from one place to place. As productivity increases, so when more production happens in the industries, it has to be transported from one place to another, from place to place. Rapid changes in the industrial technology continued, especially the production of large machines and faster means of transportation. So there was a huge change in the industrial technology. It continued, especially the production of large machines, faster means of transportation. So then they had to be transported to the other place